Edge automated trucks could displace 500,000 US jobs. I saw a video 2 days ago on this automated gas station where you go and you just put your card in, pump gas, you go into the gas station, you can get a coffee, soda, snacks, things like that, but there's nobody in there. There's no humans. You just use your card. Everything's automated. And we see this at the grocery stores now. You see it at Walmart. You see it at Home Depot. You see it at Lowe's.
Yeah, I mean these jobs, I mean where you're just you're just working as a cashier or you're serving the people in these stores and these establishments. These jobs, I mean, they're not really necessary in the future anyway. You can't just keep working these jobs thinking that number one, you're earning next to nothing in terms of your salary. And number two, these jobs have no future. I mean, they have a very, very short lifespan and you're not going to be able to retire off of that. I mean, we got to start thinking about what can we do for the rest of our lives so that we can sustain ourselves.
Everything is pretty much humanless,
Mm-hmm.
and you just do self-checkout now, right? So
Yes.
there's less need of humans. But we're going to see more technology and robotics replacing jobs. And in this article, it says researchers at the University of Michigan and Carnegie Mellon University published a new study revealing the proliferation of automation in long-haul trucking, and it could replace 500,000 jobs. Self-driving.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the truck driving is done. Being a trucker, I still see people out there recommending, oh, go be a trucker, go be a trucker. How long is that going to be even a viable option? I mean, why would you want to go into an industry that is for sure to be automated? It makes no sense, but people just don't do their research. And that's why channels like mine are important and channels like his are important because people are just oblivious to the way of the world and they're going to get wiped out if you keep, just remaining oblivious to what's around you. You will make wrong decisions and you'll be punished for those decisions.
Driving trucks are in the testing phase right now. What in the world are people going to do? Let's just say 5 to 10 years from now. I mean, this
Hmm.
isn't going to happen tomorrow, but they're working on it right now. The framework is being put together. And we see warehousing and we see the auto builders using all these robotics, and they're not going to need people to load trucks. So again,
I mean, it's more efficient, it's cheaper. It makes sense. It makes sense to replace them with robots.
technology, robotics, going to be replacing millions of jobs. And we have so many people coming here and so many people here right now. How in the world is everybody
He's talking about immigrants. He's talking about immigrants coming into the country.
going to feed themselves? How will everybody even be able to work? Where will the jobs be?
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, like, we're supposed to work until we're 65, 70, right? Retirement age will be going up, but how are we gonna work? Where are the jobs gonna be at? I was thinking about this the other day, like, what can you pick now that you're gonna have for the next 30, 40 years? It's a strange position that we're in because we know there's no such thing as a job for life anymore, but I'm just thinking, and then you come to the conclusion that universal basic income is going to be a main source of income, if not a complete source of income for many people. Um, there will be no economic empowerment. I don't want to say no, but for some people, there will be no economic empowerment. I mean, some people already don't have them with the benefit system. Well, technically, they have it, but they don't want to tap into it. But if there's no jobs, I mean, UBI, I mean, at this point, UBI is a certainty. I don't think anybody with their head screwed on is doubting UBI. It's coming, and it's just like, it's something that we don't want to rely on because we want to have our own empowerment in terms of we don't want to be completely controlled by the government.
And I bring this up because it's so important that all of us continue to work on skill sets and know
Absolutely.
how to do not just one thing. Maybe you need to know how to do two, three, or four things very, very well because some of this stuff is going to be phased out. Some of the stuff you know right now, it's going to be meaningless. A robot's going to do it. It's going
I mean, I've advocated having multiple sources of income. I've advocated that. You cannot afford to have just one source of income. When he says certain jobs will be phased out, okay? Dan Pena made a prediction he said about the cruise ships. He said that the cruise ship industry is finished, it's done. And what just happened with P&O Ferries? P&O Ferries pulled the plug on I think about 800 employees. Now, what are those guys gonna do now? What are those guys gonna do who work for P&O Ferries or P&O Cruises, whatever it's called, right? I think they're different companies. I think P&O Ferries is the one. But they sacked 800 employees, gone with no notice, with nothing. And now they're gonna have to find another thing to do. That might have been the only thing that they know how to do. And look at the time that we're in. We're in a time of economic turmoil. It's a terrible time to lose your job. They did a study, sorry, not a study, a polling, and 70% of the millennials and Gen Zers who quit their jobs during the Great Resignation, which was a big old joke, but 70% of people who quit their jobs during the Great Resignation are already regretting their decision now. They're already regretting the decision, and I believe it's higher than that. But majority of people, the overwhelming majority of people, are regretting quitting their jobs. It was a mistake, but people done it, and they're gonna pay for it.
Going to be phased out. And so we really need to be working on skill sets and knowing how to do a multitude of things. So many people are one dimensional. They only know how to do one thing, and they're on borrowed time. They will be replaced. Their jobs will be replaced. How will millions of
Absolutely.
people eat when these jobs are gone? Think about just in trucking, 500,000 jobs gone. How about in warehousing and people in
And warehouses are expanding. Warehouses are expanding, but less and less people are working less and less people will work in warehouses in the future. So this robotics is going to be a major thing.
in the automotive world, assembling cars,
Definitely.
many more of those jobs will be replaced. So many jobs, you name it, it could be replaced. Restaurants now are going to replace people. They're not going to need them. Robots and machines.
They already have it. They already have like restaurants where robots are serving the food. Now we're going to get, in the future, robots will be cooking the food. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Can cook the food and serve the food. Just put your plastic card in.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have big problems here down the road, because already the jobs in America, most of them, I mean, over 30% of the jobs in America pay $15 or less. Half the jobs literally are service sector type jobs, leisure, hospitality, the restaurant business, and what have you. This is not going to sustain a real world economy.
No.
So we're going to see more haves and more have-nots, and a majority of people are really just going to have these service-type jobs, and many of them are going to be replaced. Then what? This is really stuff that we've got to really be asking ourselves, and how are we preparing for it? And I know a lot of people say, well, that's 5 or 10 years down the road. Well, if you're 20, 30, 40 years old right now, that's not what are you going to do? And that
exactly. Most of you guys watching me are young guys, and that's why we really have to think about it. We really have to think about it, because it's going to be a real dilemma for people if they don't get themselves sorted out now.
just look back how fast time flies. 10 years will be here before you know it. And so many people are going to ask, what just happened? What happened?
Yeah, people are going to act as if there were no signs. People are going to act as if it just came out of the blue, and you're going to see these news reports and be, oh, it just came out of the blue. But you got to keep yourself updated. You got you got to move with the times. You can't just let the world pass you by.
What do I do now? And you need to take time and start learning other skill sets and acquiring real life assets and knowing how to do something.
Okay, so I want to introduce you to this website, Will Robots Take My Job? So you can enter your job here during the in the search bar, or you can just show a random example, or you can look here. There's some jobs here. There's also a rankings, but you can just show a random example. Let's just show a random example and see how it works. So preschool, elementary, middle, secondary, and special education teachers. Okay, so you're looking at 5% automation risk. There hasn't been enough votes on this occupation, so normally there is people who vote on it. Growth is 8.9% by 2030. Wages are 59,410 annually. Volume is 3,900, so about 4 million people work in this job. There's a bit of data here on I think that's the jobs available compared to the amount of people employed. So there is a excess of jobs. This is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. On other jobs, they have some comments. Let's just try another random example. Give me bad examples. Shampooers, what the hell is that? Purchasing agents. I mean, purchasing agents accept wholesale, retail, and farm products. Yeah, I mean, I know what a purchasing agent is, but when you say accept those and that, I don't know. But anyway, let's look at some of the rankings, right? Because it's the important part. So it gives you the rankings of the jobs, and it tells you, okay, this is the hardest job right now, right? Occupational therapist. Let's check this out. They say there's a 0% risk of automation. I don't think any job has a 0% risk of automation, but that's what they're saying. They're saying 18.3% polling. The growth is 17.5% by 2030. Wages 86,000 or $41 an hour, and only 126,000 people are in this job, so that's quite low. So you can vote here what you think. Occupational therapist is expected to be a very fast growing occupation. That's why it's the highest ranked job. The annual wage is going up, you can see 80K in 2015 up to 86K in 2020. So your wage is going up, as well. And some of the comments, they say robots need human emotion. And if they can't relate to one's emotion, they will not be up to standards when getting help. It's as if you're talking to a wall. Well, robots are advancing in terms of that category. But who knows when they will get to that point? Some say it's not possible. This guy says no chance. Too dependent on human interaction, especially the notice of patient. Notice what the patient is not saying. Variety. Okay, interesting. Can a robot do that? I think they can eventually, but demand will also increase with the aging population. Probably the very last to go. Very last to go. Well, you want to be in that position. So let's look at some of the lowest ranked jobs. So you got hand sewers. Who's doing this job? Automation risk 93%. Look at it. Growth is down by 9.5%. $30,000 wage. Only 3,000 people. This job doesn't even exist. Hand sewers? Who's sewing by hand, bro? This has already been replaced a long time ago. Oh man, hand sewers. What a joke. But these low tier jobs like shoe machine operators, a lot of guys are working low tier jobs. Absolutely low tier jobs, man. Look at these jobs, cashiers. Automation risk 89%. A lot of people work as cashiers, 3 million people. It's $25,000 a year. The growth is down 10%, just like what you were saying in the video. There's a lot of comments on this one. They say the wages are going up, and the wages are going up for a cashier because of minimum wage increases. This person says, if there was a definitely option, I would pick it because there's no way this won't be automated. It's easy to do. They're already self-checkouts, and it's cheaper than paying people. Absolutely. I'm a cashier. I hope I get replaced. I seriously hate my boss. See, this is what people are living in humiliation, man. This guy wants to be replaced, but he ain't thinking about. See, if you had an alternative, you wouldn't be working there. So why are you working there? Assholes took my job 2 years ago at Jack in a Box. You see that? People need jobs and they will always be available. Laughing emoji. Yeah, this guy wants to be delusional. Some people just want to be delusional. I'm a cashier. They started to replace a lot of registers with self-checkout. Also getting rid of a lot of my co-workers. Yeah, cashiers are doomed. People already don't like to interact with other people while shopping. Yeah, and Amazon got their... Didn't Amazon open a store with no cashiers at all? I think so. You know, I think they did. I think Amazon opened a store that has 0 cashiers. You know. So let's go back to some of these low-scored jobs. Look at this, library assistants, right? You know who's a library assistant? One particular guy that I made a video about. He's a library assistant. 91% automation risk, right? Growth 0.6% minus wages. People are finished working these stupid jobs, man. I'm telling you. People are finished. Look, highest automation risk. Food science technicians. 97%. Wow. People need to be careful what they choose. Let's go here. Let's put truck driver. Heavy tractor and trailer truck drivers. 87%. 66%. Growth is up by 6.3%. The wages are actually quite low for truck drivers. $48,000 or $22 an hour. As a HGV driver, I see how vehicles are evolving. I'm also aware of how much money is being invested into automation companies like Tesla. So he knows his job is on the way out. You know. Look, James says small chance. I don't think so. My job means a lot to me and it should not be automated. I make a living. You can't live like that. This guy is saying, I make a living. It's not going to be automated because it means a lot to me. What kind of answer is that? I highly doubt the government will allow it. What do you mean you doubt the government will allow it? You people are living delusional, man. See, a lot of people are living delusional. The government has every reason to allow it. We had a truck driver crisis in Britain, you know, and of course the government gonna allow it. Of course the truck driver job is finished. Truck driver job is finished, man. You're talking about there's gonna be deaths, there's gonna be this or that. They don't need deaths. They don't need human beings to drive trucks anymore, man. Stop living delusional. They keep saying self-driving trucks are too dangerous. They're gonna replace you with trucks. It's gonna replace you with self-driving trucks. Cruise ship. That's ship engineer. I'm not really looking for that, but let's have a look. Not really looking for that. But the cruise ship industry, I think, is finished, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this soon. I'm just gonna check out a few more of these jobs. Dentists. They say dentists won't be. Dentists can be replaced by robots, though. Good wages, $158,000 a year, $80, almost $80 an hour. Only 95,000 people work. That's low. Dentistry is mainly about image recognition and operating machinery. Machines excel at this. Absolutely. It'll be a while before robots replace dentists, but it will happen. So even dentists are in trouble. Even dentists are in trouble. I mean, I want to be a dentist and I'm so happy. You know, dentists are in trouble. China had already done the procedure done by a robot. Wow. Dentists are going out, man. But the thing is with dentists, I mean, you can make a lot of money as a dentist before they pull the plug on you. People just need to be smart with how they spend and how they invest their money. Because I think we're all just buying time at the end of the day. Lowest paid jobs with the highest risk. So these are jobs that you need to avoid, right? Fast food. I told you guys it's fast food. Look how bad it is. 94%. Growing by 15%, and that's because of the increases in McDonald's and KFC, like I told you. 3 million people work in fast food. Look at how low the wages are. $23,000. That's horrible. We calculate this occupation to have an automation risk score of 94%. You are doomed. You see that? You are doomed. If you are working in fast food and counter workers, you are doomed. Alright guys, so check out this website if you were interested in it. It's on Roman here, the truth of the matter. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want already. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video.